All right. So, firstly, hi all. I hope all of you are doing really well. And firstly, thank you so much for signing up for the volunteering day on the 16th of July. All of your commitment towards giving back to the community means a lot to the school um, who you're going to volunteer at. So I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. And I'll keep letting the volunteers in. We'll also have the recording in place, so I can rest assured I'll make sure nothing gets missed through the entire 30 minutes that we have allocated. So as mentioned in the email that I sent, this meeting has been put together as a briefing session for the upcoming volunteering that you'll be taking part in on the 16th of July. And just to help you understand what the day looks like, the logistics part of it, as well as what exactly will happen during those sessions. So a briefing document was sent to all of you, and I hope you had a chance to have a look through. And if you did not, it's completely all right, because I'll just walk you through the entire document very quickly. And we also have Neil on the call, who's by the name of David currently on this call.
Yes, sorry.
He is from CreativeHUT and our instructor for the day on the 16th of July. We'll be working alongside you and the students to carry out these activities and the sessions we have planned for all of you. So I request all of, if any one of you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box or just unmute yourself and we can stop in the middle and help you answer those. All right, so I'll just share my screen or all right. So yeah, just give you a little brief about this entire program. So as all of you must be aware that Cognizant is graciously sponsoring and adopting 50 schools across the UK as part of their Adopt a School initiative. And within that initiative, there are different activities that the schools are doing. One major component of the entire initiative is that there is a STEM program that the schools are enrolling for, and they'll be carrying this STEM program across one academic year. So Neil here is part of that program. He is one of the people who have helped bring this entire program live. And I'll just give you a quick walkthrough or like a video representation of what that program entails, what this STEM program consists of, the kind of component it has, and the robots and the STEM its components it has, just to give you a very clear understanding. I'm going to share my screen. So I'll play this video. Before, just to give you a little bit more context. So this kit or the video that you saw right currently, the picture of the robot, this is a STEM enabled robot which works on certain code blocks, commands, Python commands. The one which is in the program, the STEM program that the schools are taking part in. And right when you give certain commands to this robot, it does certain functions and activities and tasks. So the entire program is about that robot, and the sessions and the activities that we have planned for the 16th of July, but will also consist of everything involving this robot. So I'm just going to play the video.
Meet the new MBot 2.
Hello, I'm MBot 2 from Make Blog Education.
MBot, the popular robot for computer science and STEAM education, has reached the next level in hands-on learning experiences. With its new networking capabilities, MBot 2 can carry out interactive and smart activities with students. The key to its improved performance is CyberPi, the most advanced microcontroller from MakeBlock Education, which brings the latest technologies into the class. Its built-in Wi-Fi module allows for wireless communication. For example, connect multiple MBot 2s to create a local network, LAN, of robots that communicate between themselves, share and collect data, and perform tasks together. Or connect MBot 2 to the internet, to perform advanced features such as speech recognition or exchanging information with the cloud. MBot 2 uses MBlock, the open source coding experience that offers both block-based and text-based programming built on industry-leading platforms. Students can begin with block-based coding, and by incorporating a variety of MBlock extensions, educators can easily integrate data science, IoT, and AI into their classroom, preparing students for future careers. Students easily transition from block to
Just a question there is can everyone hear the audio? Yeah.
Python programming in MBlock. There's no need for them to learn a new software interface. MBot 2 uses MBuild modules, the next generation of smart sensors from MakeBlock Education. Thanks to its new encoder motors, students can control the rotation, speed, and positions of MBot 2 with greater precision, allowing for more realistic and accurate lessons than its predecessors. MBot 2 comes with an integrated rechargeable battery, which eliminates the need to purchase separate batteries. MBot 2 comes with a series of getting started activities that help educators and students successfully use the robot right out of the box. And more specialized courses will follow. MBot 2, enabling educators and inspiring innovators.
All right. I hope the video was able to help you understand what those kids were about and how will they work. And again, to re-emphasize, these are the robots which we'll be using on the 16th as part of the activities with the students and the sessions. So I just quickly go over the briefing document that I sent. So just for just to make sure that all of you are well aligned and have understood what is in the session and how the day looks like. So firstly, we have the place, the location of the school that's in Tower Hamlets, and the address has been given to you along with a link of where exactly the directions are. The dates, the timings. We request all the volunteers to come sharply by 10:30, even before that if you can, and do not make sure that you do not go beyond 11, because that is exactly when we start with the training session for the volunteers. So you can see the table that is right in front of you. From 11 to 12, we'll have the volunteer training for the workshop in itself. So this 1 hour is completely devoted for the volunteers to bring them up to speed and teach them a little bit about the robots and certain commands and tasks. The next half an hour is a time allocated for interviews and just for preparation purposes leading up to the workshop with the students. So this half an hour would be allocated for interviews with a few of the volunteers from there, um, along with one interview with the school students and the teachers and head teacher. Then for 1 hour, we'll have a lunch break. After that, for 1.5 hours, we have the workshop with students itself. There'll be 45 students, and we're hoping to get 15 volunteers for the session from Cognizant, so that every day we will have one volunteer, one kit, one robot, and 3 students at each table. Right. The fifth point has the link to the video that I just showed you. If you want to rewatch the video again, that's the link you can use. Next, when you reach the reception, I request to please ask for Griffiths. She is the teacher in charge for the day. If I get further information from the school regarding which room you need to go to, I will send it to all of you over email by Friday. Please do carry your identification cards. Lunch will be provided. Along with it, right after this call, when I'm sending the recording of this session, I'll also send a Google document with your dietary preferences. All right. Towards the end, we'll also have 2 of our representatives who are also the founders of Let's Localize, who will be present there. And if you face any challenges in reaching the location, or just otherwise, feel free to contact them at those numbers. All right. So sorry to take so much of time. I'll let Neil take the take the lead on how the training session will look like and what activities they have planned with the students, with all of you.
Can I just ask a quick question
Yes.
on the previous document? So it said, bring your identification card. I work at Bishopsgate and I just have a plain white card to access the building. So is there any workaround for me? Because I don't have a particular photo ID card. They just give me an access card.
So any government ID card would work.
Okay, so I can just use a license or something.
Yes,
rather than
any
a cognizant ID.
license, just your photograph.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be a cognizant employee ID.
No, not at all. Just
Oh,
any
okay.
application card that that has your name and photo ID on it. That's
all right, perfect. Thank you.
That reminds me again, I just have to stop here and ask if any one of you have other questions. All right. I will take that as a no. And if you have any questions, do drop them in the chat box and then we'll take it up. Neil, sorry, you can please take the lead now.
No, thank you very much. And to be honest, hopefully from the video you've just watched and from what Aprijit's been talking through, hopefully it's already starting to become clear what the day is about and what the students themselves will be doing. But just to go into a bit more detail, as you've gathered from that, the two different sessions, they are basically focused on coding a robot to carry out real world challenges. That's what it's all about for the day. But there's those two different sessions for yourselves, the volunteers, and for the students later on. That first session for user volunteers, it'll basically be a slimmed down version of what we're doing with the students, just to start to give you a hands-on experience of what the robot is, how it works, how we connect to it with the tablets we'll be using to create the code, the basics on how the coding language works and how you start to give the robot commands to do different things. So we'll be giving you the chance to get hands-on for yourselves and start to get that basic understanding of what it is and how it works to give you that initial confidence to then be working with the students in the later session. As I said, we'll basically be programming the robot to carry out challenges, but they are all very much focused around them imagining that robot as a real world vehicle of the future, particularly being a self-driving vehicle, so something that they might be able to connect to already, because of course, at the moment, big thing in the real world is the development of electric cars. And the next step is lots of different companies within the automotive industry trying to then make them fully self-driving, being able to get from point A to point B themselves, having been coded to do so and making use of all the motors and sensors they've got. And we'll be basically giving them a taste, a very basic taste of the things all the scientists and the engineers and computer scientists have to think about when they're trying to solve the problems around using and creating these vehicles of futures. That's exactly what they'll be doing. As part of the introduction to this session in the afternoon with the students, we won't be going just straight into it. We will be giving it a bit of framing, helping them to understand why they're doing this, why it's important to learn about what it could lead them into in their futures. So we'll be, of course, explaining what skills they'll be using and developing. Of course, we're talking about STEM skills and coding skills, explaining why they're so important, how they can actually use those skills now and in their futures, no matter what careers they might go into the future, and really help them understand why it's important and how they could, by learning all these skills, help us to create amazing new things in the future and solve whatever problems are put in front of us in the future. And yeah, they're just explaining them that's the importance of getting hands-on with this kind of thing, and before we then guide them through the actual hands-on sessions themselves. So you've already started to see the robot itself, what it looks like. I've got one here as well, in case anyone wanted a closer look. I think I've realized actually the blur might be coming from that bit, but basically these will be pre-built. So the school have 50 of these robots pre-built, ready for us to use. We'll be connecting to them via Bluetooth on a tablet. I'll show you the programming language on the screen a bit closer in a second. But basically, on this robot, we've got wheels connected to motors so they can control the movements of the robot. And that's what we're starting off with, just basic motor control to get to move forwards, backwards, turn left and right. And then we'll be progressing on to using sensors. So the different sensors got to help make sense of its surroundings and become a fully self-driving car. On the front, ultrasonic sensor, which basically helps to measure distance in front of it so it can see and react to obstacles in front of it. And on the bottom, we've got a color or line sensor. So it can actually sense different colors and use those to guide it on where it's going to go. That'll make sense a bit more when I show you what activity you'll be doing in a second. But we've got these sensors which they'll progress on to controlling as well. So that's the robot itself. If anyone has got any questions on that, we can come back to that in a second. The program language, am I set up to share my screen, Apogita? Can I go straight into share my screen?
Yeah.
Let's try it now. Perfect.
I think I'm going to just give you the access right now. Yeah, you should be able to share screen.
Perfect. So first of all, is the coding language coming through? So you might have seen this briefly in the video, but this is the coding language they'll be using to create a sequence of instructions telling the robot exactly what to do. We'll be using it with a tablet version, so they'll be nice and easily able to connect to the tablet via Bluetooth, put together code and press play to test it straight away. That's what the session will involve a lot of, putting together code, testing it, see what it does, because they won't get it right first time, then debugging and changing the code to retest to keep on improving and making it better. And of course, you'll be able to get hands-on with this yourselves in that first session, start to see it a bit closer, understand how it works. You've got this basic list of different blocks that they can use to put together their sequence of instructions. The very basics being things like move forwards at a certain speed, minimize this, at a certain speed for so many seconds, and how they change the speed in the seconds will adapt how far it travels. Of course, they're going to start to do basics like making turns to the left, to the right, a certain degree turns, just to start to get it to move in different directions. Hopefully that's starting to make sense straight away. But then we'll be going on to more complex tasks where they can start to make use of those sensors to guide it. So I'm just going to switch to a slightly different view. Hopefully it starts to come through. Can you now see a mat on the screen? Green mat with black and white lines? Is that coming through okay?
Nope. I'm still
Yeah, I'm just going to try this differently. Bear with me. Stop sharing. I think it was set up to share just one window at a time. How about now?
Yep.
Perfect. So this is basically the map they're going to be using. So I mentioned they're going to imagine the robot as a self-driving vehicle of the future, and we're going to be challenging them with trying to make it round this basic track, which they can imagine as an F1 track. So it's a self-driving F1 car, which they've got to get to go all the way around this track, which is a basic mock-up of Silverstone circuit. So they can start off with getting around with those motor controls. As you can see, we've got this black line, and hopefully they will be able to progress on to using the color sensor that's built into the robot to see this black line and guide them around the track. So they've got that progression from using the basic motor control to being able to actually guide itself around this track using the black line. These are going to be one map per group, and they're A0 size. They're quite big maps that are all going to be capable of allowing that robot to navigate its way around. So hopefully that's starting to give you an idea and a picture of what the challenge is all about, what they're going to be asked to do. As I said, you'll be able to get hands-on with the robot and the coding yourself, so you'll start to get that basic knowledge of exactly what they'll be doing in that session in the afternoon. And from my point of view, the role that we'd love for you to play is, as Apogita said before, is to support the groups. If we do get that 15 volunteers in a day, it could be one volunteer per group, giving them encouragement, helping to make sure they're staying on track with the task, asking them questions about what they're doing, trying to communicate what they think about the code, how they're going about solving the problem. And of course, if you have started to get that basic confidence from your hands-on session in the morning and you feel confident in helping with the code, you can absolutely do that as well. You can start giving them pointers on, right, why don't you try this? If you change the speed to this, the seconds to this, is that going to help you? We're not expecting you to know the answers, of course. We'll be there guiding them through everything as well, but you can give them that added support. So it'll be myself leading the session, one of my colleagues as well, who will be in the room, helping to support any questions that come up from the students and yourselves. So you'll be supported all the way through the volunteer session as well. But hopefully that's starting to give you a good idea of what it's all about. I know we're fast coming to the end of time. So does anyone have any questions on what I've just shown you and started to talk about?
Yeah, hi David, this is Jatin here. I've got a quick question. What age groups are they, or how would you describe the sort of the grouping?
The secondary school students. A good question. The year group. I believe they're year 7 for the school. Apogita, or was it year 9 for the school?
So for this school in particular, where the volunteering is happening, it's across key stage 3, 7, 8, 9.
Year 7 through to year 9.
Okay, and is there going to be a teacher in the class all the way through, or are we kind of left to our own devices?
No. So as I mentioned in the briefing document itself, Griffiths is the teacher, will be present there. She's the teacher.
Oh, he's going to be there, or she's going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's going to be there. Yes.
Plus myself and Michael from CreativeHUT, we are leading the session. So you will not need to lead anything at all. You'll be in the same room with us, working away, just supporting the group. So anytime any question comes up where you're not sure how to help the students, we'll be there together with the teacher to help them through. And yeah, like I just said, the teacher will be there to help manage the students as well. So, you know, you're definitely not going to be left to your own devices at any point whatsoever.
Okay, thank you.
Answer your question.
How long do they get to do it on their own? And in your experience, how far people normally go through? When do they get their vehicle around the track?
So with this, because they're pre-built, we've got an hour and a half is a good amount of time. So I'm fully confident that gives us plenty of time to do the introduction. They'll absolutely be able to smash through the motor control. And I'd expect basically every group to progress onto using the sensors as well. So it's perfect timing to progress, yeah.
Okay, great.
All right. Jatin, to come back at your question, in terms of the adults present there, we'll have 2 representatives from Let's Localize as well. They're the founders of Let's Localize. On the briefing document, again, their name and phone numbers. Both of those have been provided, just in case if you have any hiccups along the way to the school, or if you have any questions as well. Feel free to call them. And in terms of from CreativeHUT, the instructors who will be there, we'll have Neil himself and another person with him. In terms of teachers, there is currently, we know Griffiths is there. We're not allowed to share phone numbers of the teacher in charge currently with anyone, but the name is present in the briefing document just for your reference once again. And we're trying to get more teachers involved as well, but currently we have that teacher, and she's also the point of contact from the school, from our side as well. Right. Okay. Okay, any more questions, anyone? Okay, I will take that as a no. Thank you all for joining the call, and again, thank you so much for walking everyone through what the session will look like, what activities, showing them what task programming and code blocks they'll be doing. So I'm very excited for the event. Let's see. Let's hope it goes as a massive success. And
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Just on the ending note, I'll be sending the recording of the session, as well as a Google Form with poetry requirements that all of you will need to fill up, just so we can make the lunch arrangements accordingly.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all soon.
See you then. Bye.